Hello and welcome. In this short video, I'm going to explain to you what is Microsoft Graph and how to use it. So this is just a very brief introductory video for people who have never used it before. It's not intended for experts in any way, but let's get to it. So basically, Microsoft Graph, what is it? It's a security graph. It's a special interface which can be used to connect and query different services in Office 365 or in Azure. And I will give an example of how to work in Office 365 with Microsoft Graph. If you Google, just Graph, Microsoft Graph, you'll get to this website. It's developed at Microsoft.com and then Graph Explorer. And here you see a couple of different things. First, you're logged in with a sample account. So if I run this query, right, I get some responses, but this data is from a sample account. And if you look a little bit here, there are options to they're not available. So let's sign in first. Okay. When I go here and sign in, I log in with my test account. Now I would query the actual data from my tenant. When I run it, I get something like this. This is a JSON representation of data, which is stored in my tenant. And if you see here, it's me, so it's basically data about my user. Then the difference is you can have different queries. Get is to get data. Post if you want to post something to this to a specific area in Office 365. Other options are put, patch, and delete. This is very handy for developers to do if you want to get to a specific object. It's possible to do. And also Microsoft offers you some sample queries that you can use. So for example, these are some queries I ran before. And if I click here on show more sample queries, I can specify which services simple queries should be here. So for example, I can do the planner queries or um, groups as an example, right? Uh, then I get options here, uh, all groups in my organization. So if I run this query, if I just click here, you see it shows here graph.microsoft groups. And then I receive all the groups which are available in my organization. Or if I want to post something, I add favorite group. So let me do something like this. I just copy this group ID and then I run this post request. It tells me the query requires a group ID. So here I just specify the group ID. I run the query and this group becomes a favorite. Right, so as simple as that. If I want to get all planners or planner, it's also possible to do. I just click on this query. Of course, all these queries can be built. There is documentation, but this is for you just to get an idea. This is a API, so application programming interface, through which you can interact with all services in Office 365. One more important thing to notice, Graph, it's a very granular security thing. So here, if I click modify permissions, I can get really, really granular. What should my graph be able to do? So this one allows this graph to read everything, read mail, and something like people read all if I need to read user profiles, site read alls, etc. There are a lot of things. So you can assign really, really granular permissions to the graph. So when your application, your program runs, it can do only specific things, not everything in organization. And as I mentioned, all modules, all services from Office 365 are accessible through the graph. It's a recommendation from Microsoft to use Graph API as a centralized option instead of going through individual services APIs. And Microsoft is investing a lot into it. And yeah, I hope it's been helpful to you. If you have some questions, just write comments. Let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Have a wonderful day and stay healthy. Bye bye.